What is going on, everybody? My name is Alex Freeberg, and today we are back with another watch review. Now, today we are looking at the Omega Speedmaster Professional, a watch that I'm sure just about every single person has seen, heard of, worn, or bought at some point in their life. It is an extremely popular, extremely horologically significant watch, and one that I have never worn until about a month ago when my father-in-law let me borrow this. So shout out to my father-in-law, Dave. Thank you for letting me borrow this. It has been awesome. I love this watch. I'm going to go into some of the basic dimensions of this watch, and then we are going to get into a little bit of the history of it, and then who I think this watch is for. I also have this back here. Dave just recently got this serviced about a year ago, and they made a blunder and gave him some free stuff because of it. And I'll show you what that is. It's an extra strap. I don't think it's my favorite strap in the world, and I'll show you why, but it was very expensive. So we'll see what you think of that later. So this is a chronograph. You can see the subdials. They all have different functions. I won't go into it. This is not going to be the most technical review, but let's get into some of the dimensions. It is 42 millimeters, so it's a little bit larger. It has 20 millimeters lug width, has about a 48 millimeters lug to lug, and it is about 13 millimeters thick. This is a hand winding movement. It's a Omega caliber 1861. So they came out with a 1863 after Dave purchased this. So that one came out right after. So the one we're looking at is the 1861. This is Hesselite plastic crystal. If you watched, I just recorded a video on using Polywatch. The crystal is all scratched up. I use Polywatch to clean it. So these crystals aren't the strongest, but that is how they were originally made. So this is the original. They do now have versions where you can get sapphire crystal, but that isn't the traditional crystal that they used. So when Dave was purchasing this 20 years ago, he wanted the original. So that's what he got. We're looking at about a 48-hour power reserve, which is very good. It does have lume. I will post a lume shot, so check out the link in the description. I will have that in the description. Overall, I have not really had any complaints about wearing this watch. The only thing is that I thought was odd was this strap. So let's take a look at the strap real quick. You can see the Omega symbol right here. You have these push and open, and it's this nice milled clasp. What was interesting is this right here. So in order to use this clasp, you kind of have to, I'll take it out and I'll show you. So you can remove it very easily like that. So it has this divot and this hole, as you can see right there. And all you do is you insert it and you find the hole that you want it to be part of. You kind of push it in and then you slip it into these grooves and then you just make sure that it's in right there. There you go. And then now let's try it on real quick. And so you just kind of fold it over, boom, and it's on. So let me give you a little wrist shot real quick. I have a 6.5 inch wrist. It is nearing the peak of what I feel it looks good on my wrist. I comfortably wear this watch. I don't have a problem with wearing it. It is gorgeous and filling for my wrist. But if I went any bigger, it would be a little bit disproportionate. But this does look really good on my wrist. So if you have my size wrist, which is 6.5 or below, it might be a little bit of a squeeze. They do have a Speedmaster reduced, so possibly look at that if this is something that you are considering. Now, some of the history of this watch is this has been very much dubbed the moon watch. Back in 50 years ago now, back in 1969 when we first landed on the moon, this was the watch that Buzz Aldrin was wearing. And incredibly, he got to keep that watch afterward because that was a personal watch that he brought up. And so, you can still, you can still find um, these original watches in perfect condition because people, lost their minds when, Buzz Aldrin landed on the moon with this watch, and people started keeping them in containers, and they became huge collector's items, those original Omega Speedmaster professionals. And so, that's why it was dubbed the Moon Watch. Well, this watch itself was introduced in 1957, and they were immediately popular. Omega was always a very popular brand, always a brand that was luxurious, up there with the Rolexes of the world, but at a cheaper price point. But these were a professional man's watch. And so when I look at this watch, this has a lot of significance to me. I hear a lot about, stories from back when Dave was working. He's semi-retired now. And, you think about the meetings and the history and what this watch saw over the past 20 years, and now I'm holding it. And it's kind of part of the family, you could say. And so it's a very interesting. I've never had a watch that has personal history to it for that long. So it's very interesting to hold and think about when this was 20 years ago when it was purchased. So I said earlier that he had to send this in. Well, he didn't wear this for quite a few years, and he opened it up about a year ago, and it was running horribly. And he sent it into the official Omega, I guess service place where they repair, and he ended up waiting like months and months. And he calls them, and they say they can't find his watch. And he's like, "Well, I sent it to you. You sent it in. How can't you find it?" So it takes them a few more months, and they finally get it back to him, and it's in good shape and whatnot. And they felt bad, and so they actually gave him this right here is a little gift, I guess you could call it. And I'll show you what it is inside. It is an extra strap, and it came with a very nice. I guess they call it, what do they call this? A pusher. Whatever you want to call it, but this is probably the highest quality one I've ever seen. I just get the chintzy like 10-cent one that comes with the watches that I can afford. So let's take a look at this strap real quick. He told me that this strap is about $300, which blows my mind because I don't actually really like it. The coloring is not. This coloring is not what I imagined to be on this watch. I'll show you what I mean. It'd be like this. I don't think that goes together. It's kind of like it's like a tan orange. It doesn't look good, in my opinion. I think a much darker brown would really look nice with this black, but this tan leather, it just doesn't. It's not my thing. And Dave said the exact same thing. He's like, I did not want that. He's like, I wanted the dark brown one. So he was disappointed in that. Overall, the quality is nice. I've never bought a band that's this expensive, but I mean, it feels nice, but it doesn't feel like anything that's like crazy nice. I'm not feeling it. I'm not thinking like this is the nicest strap ever. This one is actually, maybe it's just because this one's more broken in, but this one is much nicer to me. And it actually it's kind of that alligator style. Whereas this is, just that kind of like, it almost feels like faux leather, which I doubt Omega's doing that, but that's how it feels. So I'm not a huge fan. I don't think that this would be a strap that I would personally wear, but maybe it is for you. Just thought that was really interesting that Omega's over here losing watches and, giving out free straps because they're making mistakes. So that really is all I have. I think this watch is super cool. Ton of history, ton of significance. Any person who likes watches or is into watches, excuse me, who likes watches is going to respect this watch and appreciate this watch. So, um, I think if you are looking for something that's going to last you a long time, or you want something to be in your collection for a long, long time, then this is a watch for you. It is stunning. It has a really nice wrist presence. It is classy. You can dress it up. You can dress it down. You can wear this with a suit, jeans, out to a park. It is very, very versatile. With that being said, it's up to you. If this is in your budget, it is a pricey watch. I believe nowadays they're going for around 3 to 5,000, depending on the quality, the caliber of the movement, the finishing, how well it's still intact. But I think the average price is like $4,000, or 4,300 for a brand new, certain brand new ones. And so you can pick these up for cheaper, for sure. You can get them as low as $3,000. You just got to shop around on eBay or your local watch store, or wherever you can find it. That is all I have for you. I appreciate you watching with me. I hope this was interesting. I am definitely thinking and hoping to do more watch reviews on a little bit more expensive ones. I just purchased one that was a little bit above my normal price range of the videos that I do. So hopefully I can review that watch and you guys will appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video, comment, tell me what you think about this watch. If I messed up any of the facts, call me out on it. I enjoy learning. I am trying to learn all of this so that I can teach you. I am in no means a professional. I just forgot I didn't show you something. The back of this watch. Let me show you this real quick. It says, the first moon watch worn on the moon, flight qualified by NASA for all manned space missions, and has that Speedmaster logo right there. I did not remember to show you this. So that is actually all I have. I appreciate you watching. Thanks again, and have a great day. Goodbye.